Here's your wrestling news for November 30th, 2020, and your headlines for today include: huge update in Del Rio court case, WWE Champion claims management is against him, Liv Morgan praised by the roster, Impact wrestler loses arm, forced to retire, huge news from NXT TAKEOVER WARGAMES, WWE Hall of Famer not doing well, lack of leadership hurting WWE superstar, WWE legend needs your help, OTIS injured, out of action, TLC matches confirmed for show, former world champion defends final farewell, secret reason Big E isn't being pushed revealed, and more. We are kicking off today with Alberto Del Rio, as we previously reported that he could face life in jail if he was to be found guilty of assault and aggravated kidnapping, but now there's a huge twist in the case. After the former world champion was charged earlier this year, this week Del Rio's ex-girlfriend has apologized for her actions, which caused some to believe her claims were either untrue or exaggerated. In an Instagram post translated from Spanish, Del Rio's ex issued an apology to his family for what she describes as the, quote, damages caused by my mistakes. Hijo de dos Caras, Del Rio's brother, blasted the woman on Facebook as a, quote, garbage person, and said that the truth always comes out. Now, the charges against Del Rio appear to have been dropped, as after some research, no current record exists for the former world champion's case. Under Texas law, a person may be eligible to have their records expunged under certain circumstances, and it seems Del Rio met the right criteria to have his records cleaned. Del Rio's history with women and relationships is far from stellar, as Paige recently claimed that he was physically abusive to her when they were together, though Del Rio has fired back saying that she was abusive to him, and that he begged her to stop. We'll continue to monitor this story and provide updates as they become available, but whatever the case is, it looks like Del Rio won't have to worry about the January 25th trial date anymore. Over to SmackDown, and Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn is claiming to be the most persecuted WWE superstar in the company's history, and you can't convince him otherwise. When WWE's official Twitter said that fans have been sleeping on Zayn's reign as champion after his excellent match with Daniel Bryan, the champ fired back claiming that the people of the world love and respect him, and that it's WWE management who have been working overtime to sabotage his career. We'll have to see what happens next for the Intercontinental Champion, as during a post-match segment, a feud with Big E was teased. But whatever happens next, odds are Zayn will still be unhappy about how WWE treats him and the conspiracy he believes is out to get him. Speaking of the reigning Intercontinental Champion, Zayn has worked with plenty of names during his WWE career, including Jeff Hardy, Shane McMahon, and Kevin Owens, but he hasn't worked with Liv Morgan. That's not for lack of trying by Zayn, as on Twitter, he said he enjoyed the Live Forever special on the WWE Network and revealed that when he started his Great Liberator gimmick, he pitched working with Morgan before she got drafted to Raw. Zayn isn't even the only name to have shown an interest in the 26-year-old, as in the past, it was rumored that she'd be joining Bray Wyatt as Sister Abigail, a role that's kinda been filled by Alexa Bliss. Clearly, Morgan is doing something right in WWE and has years ahead of her in the ring, and we can only wonder what she could have accomplished if she'd been aligned with Sami Zayn. Zayn isn't the only one to have praise for Morgan, as Bayley also watched the Live Forever special and had some kind words for the entire Riot Squad. On Twitter, the role model shared a picture of herself with Morgan, Ruby Riott, and Sarah Logan, and said that WWE's women's division is better because of the Riot Squad. Of course, the trio is down a member since Sarah Logan was released as part of the April 15th cuts, and though we're not sure what Morgan has planned when she says she wants to rewrite history with a newly reunited Riot Squad, we're sure that Bayley is going to pay close attention to whatever they do. We've got some sad news to report next, as indie wrestler Jimmy Rave's career is over under the worst of circumstances. Last Tuesday, Rave discovered an infection in his arm, and though doctors tried to save it, that arm has now been amputated. This left the former ROH and Impact wrestler no choice but to retire very suddenly after 21 years in the ring. In addition to being best known for his work in ROH and Impact, Rave wrestled for a ton of companies, including having a match on WWE Sunday Night Heat in 2005. This is arguably the worst way any wrestler has to retire, and we here at SlatRock are sending our very best wishes to Jimmy at this difficult time. Over to NXT next, as the company's WarGames event will happen this Sunday, and now we have a new participant for the titular match. On Twitter, it was confirmed that Ember Moon will be joining Shotzi Blackheart's team for the Women's WarGames match, with 2 members left to be revealed. Team Shotzi will face Candice LeRae's team, which consists of LeRae, the recently heel-turned Toni Storm, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. We'll have to see what other 2 names join Team Blackheart in the match, but with just 1 episode of NXT left before TAKEOVER WarGames, fans can expect some answers this Wednesday. We are looking backstage next, as Hall of Famer Devon Dudley is a producer for WWE and is responsible for putting matches together, but hasn't been around for quite some time. Unlike many producers who were furloughed this year, Devon's absence is because he's been facing health problems, as he revealed on the latest episode of his Table Talk podcast. Speaking to his guest, Bailey, Devon didn't specify what issues he had, but said he was hanging in there and hopes to be back soon. Devon described a visit to the doctors that same day as a little rough, and we here at SlatRock are sending our best wishes to the WWE Hall of Famer, whatever he's facing. Speaking of absences from TV, Braun Strowman was indefinitely suspended on last week's Raw for attacking Adam Pearce, though things aren't as clear as it seems. It's been reported that Strowman's suspension is to cover for an injury, but it's worth noting that his name wasn't on the Raw notes or injury report backstage. Although it's now being reported that it's a knee injury, it was reported by Dave Meltzer that Strowman still isn't off WWE TLC, as he's reportedly set to face WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, and that's true for the time being. If this all seems confusing for you, then you're not alone, as according to a member of WWE Creative who spoke to Ringside News, reports like these are stories that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard would like to avoid getting out to the public. The source added that there's, quote, many games being played with Bruce close to Vince, as there's a clear lack of leadership at the moment. That lack of leadership has led to a lack of trust, as Strowman's potential injury report did get out despite WWE's attempts to keep it a secret. And whilst there's a chance the Monster Among Men will be okay by TLC, it's looking unlikely. Now, we previously reported that former superstar Gillberg suffered a heart attack, and now we have an update on his condition. Thankfully, Gillberg is recovering at home, and it seems he'll be okay physically, but is still in a pretty tough situation. James Ellsworth, a good friend of Gillberg, has started a GoFundMe alongside Gillberg's wife, and are seeking to raise $30,000 for medical costs and to help him whilst he's out of work. Gillberg will hopefully recover, but will still be out of work for a while, and hopefully this GoFundMe will be able to help him out. Back to SmackDown now, and we've got an update on Otis after he was attacked by Jey Uso on this week's show. After being attacked with a chair by Jey, WWE released an update saying that Otis suffered multiple areas of contusions and tenderness of the muscles throughout the thoracic spine region. Hopefully, Mandy Rose is able to make him feel better, and though this is likely a kayfabe injury, it's interesting that WWE is letting fans know about his status. With this injury, it's doubtful Otis will make it to WWE TLC, and finally, we have an idea of what matches will happen on the final pay-per-view of 2020. According to Ringside News, 4 matches have been approved by Vince McMahon, including Universal Champion Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the title. Randy Orton will face Bray Wyatt on the show, whilst Daniel Bryan will take on Jey Uso. In women's division action, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler will face Raw Women's Champion Asuka and Lana, with the WWE Women's Tag Team titles on the line. It's worth noting that the source said how very little has been signed, sealed, and delivered regarding the card, and it's notable that Strowman is not on the card, presumably thanks to his rumored injury. We'll have to see if Strowman makes it to the card or who will face McIntyre instead, but with Riddle, AJ Styles, and Keith Lee facing off tonight to determine his next challenger, we should have some answers in just a few hours' time. We are looking back at Survivor Series now, as the show saw the final farewell of The Undertaker, a celebration which didn't go down well with some fans. One main issue people had for the segment is how many legends who appeared weren't allowed to speak, and one person who kept quiet on the night was Booker T. On his podcast, the 2-time WWE Hall of Famer explained why so many legends of the past kept quiet, saying, "That moment wasn't for us, it was for The Undertaker. It was his moment. Anything we would have said would have overshadowed what he said. One thing you don't want to do is give a bunch of old wrestlers a microphone. We'd have been out there all night." Whilst we get where Booker's coming from, it would have been nice to hear anything from so many legends, some of whom fans haven't seen in years, and the Godfather himself has said the segment could have been booked far better. Although we didn't get to hear these legends speak about the Phenom, WWE reportedly filmed a ton of documentary content backstage that night, so hopefully we get to hear those legends speak down the line. Speaking of Survivor Series, this year's show saw plenty of superstars in action, though there were some notable absences from the card. Instead of competing, Big E was relegated to walking to the ring with Raw's New Day, despite the former NXT champion being a SmackDown superstar, which was at least more than Lars Sullivan got on the show. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained the booking, or lack thereof, of both men, saying that Big E was removed from the pre-show Battle Royal as they wanted to protect both he and Sullivan and keep them looking strong. This explains why neither man was put on Team SmackDown either, as the men's team suffered a clean sweep loss to Team Raw, something that WWE didn't want either Sullivan or Big E to be part of. Both Big E and Sullivan are meant to be in some kind of pushes at the moment, though they haven't amounted to much yet. Though given WWE's decision-making regarding Survivor Series, it seems the company isn't giving up on either man just yet. And finally, today we're ending with some news from Kevin Nash, as the WWE Hall of Famer has signed up for quite the interesting movie project. According to Nash's page on IMDb, the former world champion has signed up for a fictional retelling of our current global situation titled Invasion. And no, we're not talking about the much-maligned WWF vs. The Alliance storyline of 2001. According to the movie's IMDb page, SEAL Team 6, the strike force team that captured and eliminated Osama bin Laden, have now been tasked with stopping an invasion of, quote, Chinese bats that are coming to the US. The new film is slated to be in post-production, meaning it'll be out on video on demand sooner rather than later, and we'll have to see how Nash fares in this fictional retelling of these unprecedented times.